I would like to use my position as the facilitator of this first session just to ask one question from Maria Alessandra before we go to our panelists. Thanks for the presentation. I think it was very comprehensive and showing also the strategic considerations that you have had in EBRD. I've been also following what the European Investment Bank has been doing, and they have similar kind of trend. I think it's 35% of the external lending portfolio now going to climate-related activities. So clearly there seems to be a trend in what the multilateral development banks are doing. My short question to you would be that what would you think are the biggest challenges you have now remaining, moving ahead from here, or institutional, technical, internal, where would those challenges be?
Thank you. Actually, that links to my last point of the presentation. I think the largest challenges that multilateral development banks face, and as well as the EBRD, is to enable the environment for climate resilient infrastructure. As I mentioned, we are facing emerging trends, emerging standards in the OECD countries. However, now the infrastructure needs, as I said, are huge in emerging markets, and this is where there's a lot of work to be done. I think emerging markets needs to actually develop nationally appropriate standards and codes for incentivizing the incorporation of climate resilience in their infrastructure plan. And this is where MDBs, multilateral development banks, could actually play a role. And they could play a role in developing new financial products, but also they could play a role as intermediary to bring knowledge in emerging countries, in emerging markets, and especially I think that here there are a couple of international associations today. I think there is one for the port and one for the hydro power association. I think their presence here today in Morocco with a number of players and stakeholders in emerging markets shows the ability that we have to mobilize international associations to then discuss and establish a dialogue with emerging markets to define their own approach and standards in line with international best practices.
Thank you very much.